birth AC license, and then you got your first thing.
Wow,
And
I'm Bill Mara, I'm the market manager for Northern California.
nice to meet you.
And I'm Jim Rasmussen. I'm the area leader, so all the 7-Elevens, I'm the guy in Denver, Colorado, and this
so
area.
if you have any issues with any 7-Eleven.
You can call me.
Did you catch these typos?
No, I didn't.
We'll get him into the.
Yeah,
we'll happily make
Yeah, I
sure.
appreciate it. You know, as much as we wish they never happen. But I actually do appreciate when they're pointed out because then I can fix it. You put it on the record now.
Yeah. Absolutely. Okay,
Well, it's 10 a.m.
yeah,
We do not, oh, there we go. I'm gonna make sure Matt can hear us. Hi, Matt, I asked you to unmute just so I can make sure you can hear us and we can hear you.
I'm unmuted.
Okay, great, fantastic. We can hear you. You can hear us?
Yes, I can hear you just fine.
Okay, fantastic. So we will get started.
yeah. Okay, good morning. Welcome to the zoning administrator hearing of Wednesday, February 28th, 2024. We do have two items on this morning's agenda. The first item is 88 Vivian Street, is an extension of an approved entitlement process for a project for a 70-unit for sale townhome development at that subject location. Renee, would you like to give us a brief overview of the project?
Yes, absolutely. So in 2022, 3 entitlements were approved for this development. It was a major environmental and design review, a use permit, and a tentative map. All 3 permits were set to expire May 10th, 2024. The applicant submitted a formal letter requesting that these 3 permits be extended. The review for that process was to just confirm that all findings made in 2022 are still valid for these 3 permits, which we did find to be true. The staff report details those findings, confirms that they're still relevant and valid, and then additionally applies the conditions that were initially applied in 2022 with adjustments made to accommodate the new expiration date, which is the extension is for 2 more years, so they'll expire in 2026. Staff recommends approval of the extensions for the 3 entitlements. Again, that's an environmental and design review permit and a use permit. Those 2 permits are dependent on it will expire if building permits are not applied for. I do just want to note that the tentative subdivision map that comes after the building permit, so that's what is included in this extension.
Yeah, we just wanted to cast as wide a net as possible to make sure that additional time was available to make sure this project is successful. Thank you, Renee, I appreciate that. I'm gonna open the public hearing, and the first thing I'm gonna do is ask Mr. Ashton, did you receive the staff report and do you have any questions regarding the findings, conditions of approval, etc.?
We have received the staff report and now that's it. You guys covered all bases and we appreciate it.
Excellent, thank you for that. Anyone else? We have some folks here in the audience. Anyone else? There's really only one person online. Any comments regarding this project that the public would like to share? Hearing none, I'm going to close the public hearing. The city of San Rafael, on behalf of the city of San Rafael, we are delighted to extend entitlements for a housing project in our city, and we hope this additional time is the missing ingredient to get the construction underway. I do want to note that in order to really vest the entitlements, you would not only have to pull building permits, but I do believe you have to break ground, you have to do something. There's a series of things, and your legal counsel could definitely explain that if there's any questions, but it's just to be very clear, unfortunately, just pulling of a building permit doesn't necessarily vest an entitlement. So, and I bet Mr. Ashton knew that, but I just want to get that into the record as well.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. So without any further ado, I hereby approve the entitlement extension for 88 Vivian Street for all 3 of the entitlements stated in the staff report. Thank you very much for your time, Mr. Ashton, and your patience on this process. We really do appreciate it, and we look forward to seeing you at the ribbon cutting.
Of course, as we do, as we are as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Matt.
Second item on today's agenda is 88 Medway Road at 7-Eleven. It's a request for a use permit to increase alcohol sales at an existing 7-Eleven convenience store that has been there for at least 23 years. years?
I've been there since
You've
20
been-
years, but the store's been there, I think, over 50 years.
Over
Mhm.
50 years. Okay, so that is the second item on our agenda, and
Yes.
Renee, our associate planner, is standing by to give a brief overview on that.
Yes, so this is a request for a use permit for the existing 7-Eleven at 80 Medway Road. As you mentioned, this I believe it was 1974 was the original entitlement, which was actually just for an architectural permit, not ever a use permit on file. This particular use permit comes from wanting to extend the alcohol sales to have liquor, which if for this to within 300 feet of a residential district does require a conditional use permit. For the findings, this does not seem to pose any disruptions to the community. There was no need for a public convenience and necessity notice, which would says to us as well that ABC doesn't see any need for concern. The applicant has provided substantial information to show where the liquor sales will be and providing some additional information of the limited hours of sales. So all findings were met, that this can be approved. The conditions are relatively limited. They do include the hours of operation, which is 24 hours for the overall store, but 2 a.m., but with no alcohol sales or limited alcohol sales from 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. So I did include those in the conditions as they were a part of the application. This, like all other permits, which I'll just mention since we just went over this, is valid for 2 years. But in this case, there's already a business license, so actually it's not as big a deal. So, so staff recommends approval of this use permit. So,
Thank you. Okay, I'm going to open the public hearing. Anyone who would like to speak on this project is welcome to, and I understand there's some typographical error that we should be educated on as well.
appreciate it.
Okay, I'll just address the typos first.
Sure.
If I can. And my name is Bruce Evans. I'm representing the applicant in this case.
Great.
Condition number 2. I think clearly the intent is there not to be any alcohol sales consistent with state law, which would be no alcohol sold from 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. So I think the word maybe no in place of limited.
Okay,
When I first read it, it looked like the alcohol sales were only permitted from 2 to 6, which is. Yeah. And then with respect to number 6, the permit validity, I think the word not should be included in front of the word been. So that it would read, if a valid city business license has not been issued. And then also the word not in front of the word commenced. If the use has not commenced on the property.
correct. Okay, so you're saying yes.
This would read that you could not have a use permit if you did get a building. But I understand the correction.
Thank you to staff. I came into this project late. From my colleague Ryan, I have read through the file. Ryan did ask me to extend his thanks to Renee and the planning department and for their professionalism and responsiveness throughout this process. So we thank you for that. I think the staff report covers everything. I think most importantly, in terms of the request, we've made clear that the distilled spirits will be limited to an approximate 4x5 locked cabinet. So this is not going to transform the store in any way into something that resembles a liquor store. It will not be that. And then we have Raj here, who's had the store for a long time. I'm happy to answer any questions. Raj, do you have anything you'd like to add?
Oh, good. Yeah, I'm good.
Anyone else have any comments they want to offer? I don't see anyone in the virtual audience, so I don't imagine we'll have any additional comments from the ether. Okay, I'll close the public hearing, turn it back for discussion. Really glad to have a store that's been in place in the neighborhood and clearly part of the fabric of the neighborhood, extending out offerings in a way that's going to have no foreseeable detriment on the community. We're really glad that you're here in Centerville and that you're continuing to thrive and expanding your offerings, and we look forward to a wildly successful summer season for you.
Thank you.
But not between the hours of 2 to 6. Super clear.
Pizza.
That's right. That's the salt and sugar part of a 24-hour period. Slushies, right,
Yeah.
absolutely. Thank you so much for coming in person. It's really nice to actually see humans here in our post-COVID world. Without further discussion, I hereby approve the use permit for 80 Medway Road 7-Eleven to increase alcohol sales. Thank you so much for your time. Your efforts on
No,
this.
thank you.
Thank you very much.
There is a 10-day, 15-day appeal period.
5 days.
5 day, we had a reduction, 5 day, actually, the planning commission, a little sleepy.
Yeah.
There is an appeal period of 5 days after. Obviously, received such a thing, we would notify you immediately. We had no public comments regarding this application. I just want to say, in 5 days, it's official. The only thing. Thank you for your
All
time.
right.
All right,
Yeah.
thank you. Thank you very
Thank you for
much.
Thanks so
coming.
much.
Nice to see you.
Nice meeting.
Thank you.
I think that was a record too here. 10 minutes. That's officially a record.
Well, enjoy today's weather.
Yeah,
Yeah.
This is it.
yeah. If we're going to walk this week, this is the day.
Yeah.
Gotta earn that slushie. Thank you, Angela. We really appreciate it.
White has